Hi, this instructional video for the Shearwater Petrel Nitrox Recreational mode will cover a multi-gas Nitrox decompression dive. Now this is getting a little bit outside of the realm of recreational diving, but this is still a full decompression computer, so I will show you how the decompression works. So I'm going to go into System Setup, and I am going to leave all the decompression set up at their default settings. We're going to cover that in the next video. Now for the bottom row, for a decompression dive, I'm going to set this up a little bit differently. I'm going to want to see both the partial pressure of oxygen of the gas and my central nervous system oxygen toxicity percentage. And for any decompression diving, I recommend you have the time to surface. That's the total time to surface, including the ascent, the decompression stops, and the safety stops. So in the gases, I'm going to use 32% nitrox, and I'm going to carry 50% nitrox mix for decompression. So it's going to be a 2-gas dive. You can put up to 3 gases in here. Only turn on the gases you're actually carrying on the dive. Now if you want to program your most used gases in here and just turn off the ones you're not carrying, that's fine. Just remember to turn them off. If you leave them on, the computer is going to use those for the decompression calculations. So you want to have the gases turned off if you're not carrying them. After I exit this menu, it always sorts your gases from highest O2 content to lowest. Okay, I'm going to use feet for this demonstration, and we'll go back to the main screen. And we're going to plan the dive first. So I'm going to go into dive setup. We're not going to do an NDL plan, we're going to do the dive planner. We're going to do a bottom time of, depth of 105 feet. And we're going to stay there for 30 minutes. Okay, our gradient factor settings are 40-85, that is the medium conservatism setting. And let's plan this dive. Okay, so we have our bottom time, or bottom depth of 105 feet for 30 minutes on 32% nitrox. We're going to then ascend to the first stop at 20 feet, and using the same gas, we're going to stop there for 3 minutes. At this stop, we're going to be using the 50% nitrox mix, and then we're going to have a stop at 10 feet for 10 minutes. For a total runtime of 46 minutes. And this is the gas usage based on the respiratory minute volume in cubic feet that I've entered. And total runtime will be 46 minutes, 16 of which is decompression. Hi, I'm going to pause to insert a comment here, and that is this planner does not include safety stops. So with a 5-minute safety stop, the total runtime is going to be 51 minutes. Or the total time to surface is going to be that 16 minutes plus 5 minutes, 21 minutes. So remember that. The time to surface is going to be 21 minutes when we're at the end of our bottom time. Now back to the video. And our ending central nervous system oxygen toxicity clock, 25%. Let's start the dive now. So because I'm trying to accurately demonstrate this, I'm going to ascend at kind of a real descent rate that you might do in a dive, and I'm going to speed this up so you're not incredibly bored. Okay, we've reached our target bottom depth of around 105 feet. You can see we have 15 more minutes of no decompression time left. And the time to surface, including the 5-minute safety stop, would take 9 minutes right now. The partial pressure of oxygen of our current gas is 1.35. We're getting close to the maximum operating depth of this gas, which is a partial pressure of 1.4. And we can see if we press the button once, the maximum operating depth of this gas is 111 feet. We're almost at that depth. Our maximum depth so far has been 110 feet. Partial pressure of oxygen of our gas. We can see the decompression conservatism, our current CNS loading, water temperature. These are always available in case you didn't have them on the main screen. Battery voltage, if you want to see that, and what the surface pressure was. also the current time and date. And now we're back at the main screen. So I'm going to speed this up. You'll see the NDL drop down to 0, and then we'll start needing deco stops, and I'll come back then. Okay, so now our NDL has hit 0. We have a decompression stop. So what this means is that the shallowest we can now ascend is 10 feet, and we must stop there for 1 minute. This is not like the safety stop. This is not optional. Our no decompression time limit is 0, so it's showing in red, and our time to surface has increased by 1 minute to account for this safety stop. As we stay here longer, the lengths of the decompression stop and the depth of the first decompression stop will increase. And again, I am going to fast forward to spare you the details of listening to me drone on about little things. So at this time, we're almost at 25 minutes. We've got 5 more minutes of planned bottom time. I'm going to show you a few of the decompression information screens. And they're here. And the current time to surface is 16 minutes. What at plus 5 is it's the amount of TTS if you stayed at the current depth for 5 more minutes. Sorry, we'll go back to that screen. Now it coincidentally happens to be about 5 more minutes more than the TTS, but it's based on how much on-gassing you're doing at the current depth. So if we were really deep, the at plus 5, could be 20 minutes. 5 more minutes of bottom time might be that the at plus 5 is 20 minutes more than TTS. Now sealing, that is your decompression sealing not rounded to a stop increment. So our stop increments are 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. Because it's deeper than 10 feet, our next stop is at 20 feet. And the GF99, that is your supersaturation gradient. And right now it's saying we're on gassing. We don't have a supersaturation yet. We'll have the supersaturation when we get to our decompression stops. These things are advanced features. You don't need to know about them, but they are there, and see the manual for more information about them. Okay, we are now approaching our planned 30-minute runtime. And remember how we had checked the at plus 5 time to surface back at 25 minutes and it was 21 minutes? Well, now we've reached that 21 minutes time to surface. So we're going to start our ascent. This time to surface assumes we're going to ascend at a rate of 33 feet per minute. 33 feet per minute or 10 meters per minute. And you can see I've exceeded that. I'm targeting 3 bars on my ascent rate. It's a little bit hard to do with this pressure chamber that I've got, but we're going to attempt to ascend at that rate. And if you don't ascend at the proper rate that it expects, your time to surface might change as you ascend, and the first stop might actually jump around. Because during the ascent, it needs to compensate for the on-gassing or off-gassing that might be occurring in the different tissue compartments as you ascend. So, don't worry about that. The computer takes care of it for you. We're just going to try to hit 2 to 3 bars during our ascent. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to stop here to show you what's happened. Remember, this is a 2-gas dive I'm doing, and it's now telling me that at my current depth, the best gas is my 50% oxygen mix. So I'm going to select that gas, one button press there, one button press there, and then one more button press to select it. And now I have picked this better gas for my decompression. Now that suggestion for picking a better gas only appears when you have decompression stops. It's not going to appear when you don't have any decompression stops or you're in a no deco dive. Now, as I near the decompression stop depth, it's changed from red to yellow, and it's telling me now to ascend to 20 feet to my stop. So I am going to continue up to 20 feet, and I will stop there to complete the decompression stop. When I'm within 5 feet of the decompression stop, it will change to green and show a check mark to indicate you are now at the decompression stop. So we will stay at this depth for another 2 minutes until this stop clears. Okay, now that 20-foot stop has cleared and I am now able to ascend to 10 feet. And I will do that. Once I get within 5 feet of 10 feet, this display will change to green, indicating I'm within the appropriate stop range. And we have 10 more minutes to spend here. Now, what would happen if I went shallower than the stop depth? I will show you that. So my depth now has decreased shallower than the stop depth. So now it's quite upset at me. It's saying I should descend down to 10 feet because I have gone too shallow. If I was to stay here too long, I would get a missed deco stop error along the bottom. So we'll go back into the range for this 10-foot stop. And we have got another 9 minutes, so I will speed the display up again. Note that the time to surface is 15 minutes. That's because that also includes the 5-minute safety stop that we will need to do after the deco stop completes. Okay, so our decompression stop is going to clear soon, and when that happens, this will switch to, say, safety stop, and we will have a 5-minute safety stop. Since we're in the range of 7 feet to 23 feet, the safety stop has automatically started counting down. In meters, that range is 2.4 meters to 7 meters, where it will count down the safety stop. Now, I'm just going to ascend to the surface and blow off the safety stop. And you'll see that it will turn yellow and it will flash at you. Now the safety stops are optional, so you don't have to do them. There's not going to be any lockout if you don't do the safety stop. The safety stop there is for extra conservatism to reduce your risk of decompression illness, but you don't have to do it. Now there's also no lockout if you do violate the decompression plan as well. But if you violate the decompression plan, you're at higher risk for decompression illness. It's your own safety. You need to take precautions like calling your diving insurance company or an emergency room, or just taking the actions based on your training. Again, we don't lock you out, but your safety is your responsibility. So we've ended the dive. I'm going to end the dive. That would happen in 1 minute anyways. I want to speed things up. So our safety stop has disappeared. We're back on the surface. I will show you the dive log quickly. So we went to 110 feet maximum, total run time of 46 minutes. We can view the plot, and you can see my bottom time, the initial ascent to the first stop. The red line is your decompression ceiling, and we did the decompression stops and then ascended to the surface. And that is all. You can see that the recreational mode is still a fully functional decompression computer, but remember, this is not intended to be a substitution for training. You need to be properly trained to do decompression dives. There are significant risks when you have an overhead ceiling due to decompression stops. Thank you.